Hey, good afternoon. Man, when you do these once a month, it feels like it's been forever since I've done one of these with you live, talking about leadership. So let's get going with it. And I'm just thinking about all the snow that's out here. Good news is the snow is where it's supposed to be in the yard, not on the streets and the road here in Colorado. So I want to talk to you today about being a resilient leader and what that takes. There's several things, and I made some notes, and I don't have slides today. I know those of you who love the Otis slides, that's not today. I'm not going to do slides because I just wanted to do a little bit of chalkboard work, even though I'll be honest with you, the whole backwards camera thing always throws me. I got to practice more. Do the camera work, do the chalkboard work with you to show you, teach you how to be a resilient leader. So let's talk about what resiliency means first. And I've got a couple of props, 3 to be exact. 3 props, yeah, Otis playing with the balls. 3 props to show you what resiliency means. So your first one, this little rubber ball, bouncy, super soft, it bounces, not by much, right? If I throw it over here off the carpet, it's resilient, but it doesn't bounce back that well. It kind of it's soft, squishy. It's not that tough. Now, at this one, I think this is a lacrosse ball. Pretty hard. If you heard that, that's pretty hard. Right? Miss Suzanne's probably going to come running upstairs and asking, what's going on? That ball is pretty resilient. It's hard. It's tough. It has some decent bounce back, but not as much as you really want. So that's resiliency. And then lastly, just to show you a third option, a tennis ball. How resilient is a tennis ball? Look here, got a good bounce. Good bounce on a tennis ball. Yeah, you can't see me missing the catch. Good bounce on the tennis ball. It's resilient. It gets hit hard. It bounces back. It comes back to you. So if you think about that, that is what resiliency is. It is getting whacked. It's getting knocked down. It's getting hit and then getting back up. That's what resiliency is about. It is not about getting knocked down and staying down. And when you are a resilient leader, things go wrong for you. If you're a resilient leader, you can get back up and go again and try it again and learn and continue to improve. That's what resiliency is about. It's about your ability to recover when things go wrong. It's not resting. It's not silence. My definition of splitting the word up, believe me, I didn't dive into the Latin meanings of the word. I'll leave that one for you for homework. But it is about how you can handle adversity, how you can handle things when they don't go right for you. And what do? Do you roll over and quit? When you try something and it doesn't work out, do you end there? You try it once and walk away, say, yep, that's it, no more. Or if you're resilient, you try it again. You take what happened to you and you learn from it. You take those things as they go and learn from them and build on them. That's what resilient is. It's the capacity, and I'm checking my notes here because I want to get this definition because I always like to read definitions. I don't try to memorize them. The definition of resilience is the capacity to withstand or recover quickly. Toughness, the ability to adapt to a challenge. So think about that. When I was talking about these 3 balls earlier, right? You got the super hard lacrosse ball, man, that thing is solid as a rock. There's almost no give when I squeeze on it. That's tough. You got the tennis ball, a little bit of squeeze to it, right? little bit of give, softer, probably wouldn't hurt as much. You get hit upside the head with it. And then you got this little cushy ball. This little cushy ball is probably my grandson's, right? It's super soft and gushy, right? Not a whole lot of toughness for it, but it springs back, but still, I could probably tear this thing apart, where the other two, I couldn't. That's resiliency. That's what you have to be as a leader. You have to understand who you are, because resiliency starts with you. You have to understand who you are. Mindfulness leads to self-confidence. And that self-confidence in who you are helps you to become resilient. Because when you're self-confident and things don't go right, guess what you believe, which is another factor in becoming resilient, is your belief that you can achieve it. Because you believe that you've done things before, therefore you can do it again. I've overcome this, therefore I can overcome that. It's not running into something that stops me cold turkey. It's something that keeps me going. It helps me recover when I have a problem. It helps me recover when I reach an obstacle. Marcus Aurelius said this, and this is one of my, I say that a lot, but I know y'all that have heard me talk know that I love my quotes. But Marcus Aurelius said this: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. What is that? That is his definition of being a resilient leader. The impediment to action. The thing that is stopping me from achieving what I say I want to achieve becomes what enables me to achieve what I want to achieve. Now, what does that mean? That means when I get knocked down, when I get punched in the face, now I know, thank you, Mr. Pick, now I know I got to get that hand up there, right? And I'll put the hand by my face, because then the hand gets knocked into the face. I get my hand up there to block that punch next time. I'm going to learn, because now the impediment to my action becomes my action, because now I can block that action, that thing that stopped me. I know how to handle it because I have the confidence in myself, the self-awareness and mindfulness in myself to recover from that. As a leader, as a person leading myself, I have to have these traits. I have to have these skills. I have to work on them and be constant thinking about who I am and how I can be confident in my performance, in my ability to overcome any obstacle. Go back to anything in your history, in your life. I can think back to many things I've done where it's like, damn, this ain't there's no way. There's no way. This sucks, man. I ain't gonna make it. Or, man, I can't believe we didn't win that. And you know what? If you stop there, if that's what your company does, let's say you're a federal contracting company and you submit a bid and you don't win that bid, do you stop? Do you stop submitting bids? Do you stop replying, sending in proposals to RFPs that the government puts out because you didn't win one? That's resilience when you continue to do that. And the great people, the great leaders, the great organizations learn as they go along. They don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again and hoping they get a different result, right? What's the definition of insanity? There you go. Don't be that person. Be resilient. And in that resilience, you learn, because the impediment to action becomes the way. That's what you have to do in doing this. Now, your team. In order to make your team better, I tell you what, before I go to team, I want to hit one more thing that I almost forgot about that is so important in leading myself and being resilient with myself. Health. Your health. How healthy are you? If you lack sleep, if you are not nutrition and energizing yourself with proper nutrition, if you're not fit, if you are not taking in oxygen and breathing and mentally clear, guess what? you are not going to be resilient. You may have some, but some may not be enough. Your health and fitness is part of your resilience, because when things suck, when things don't go right mentally, if my physical body cannot support my mental actions, I will not be able to be resilient. Think about that. It's not all up here. Resilience, yes, there's a lot here, but resilience comes from the whole body. How physically fit and strong am I? I cannot be resilient, even if it's sending in another proposal, putting together another proposal and submitting that with the high hope of being successful with that one. I can't do that if I'm not taking care of my body. So don't discount your health and how it benefits your resilience going forward. Now, like I mentioned, team. How do you build a resilient team? Culture. It all starts with culture. You've heard me talk about culture many, many times in many different ways. Matter of fact, because I think team stuff is so important. Got a little juice flowing in the pen. Team stuff is so important. Step one is you got to have the culture, right? What's the culture of your organization? Does the culture of your organization, there we go. I told you I'd dance with this thing backwards. What's the culture of your organization? Does your organization believe they can achieve anything? Do they believe that no matter the obstacle, no matter what it is, whether it's physical or environmental, or some other exterior thing, or it's internal, do they believe they can overcome it? If Joe was sick and Joe is the proposal manager, does your team believe they can still put together a good proposal, a good enough proposal to win? That's number one. They have to have that belief in that culture. They have to have a culture of belief and understanding that they will be successful, that they, as a team, are stronger and have a greater potential of success. That's the culture you need to have for resilience. The other thing, and I love this one, is you got to have a plan. You got to have a known point to go to when you get knocked down. What's your plan? What's your process? If you have a process for putting together a proposal to answer an RFP from a government agency, and you've done that and you didn't win, you need to go back and look at the process. Ensure the process met all the needs that are required. That's your plan. When you are resilient as an individual and as an organization, you have to have a known point to return to. So here's what I mean. I'll use my land nav metaphor for this. If you're out doing a land navigation course using a compass and a map, not a GPS on your phone, using a compass and a map, those of you who don't know what those things are, call me. Using the compass and the map, and you're going to a point out there, wherever it is in the woods, and you get to the point where you think you should be there and you ain't, you know what you got to do? You can wander around in circles. That's one technique. You do concentric or spiraling circles to see where it is. Maybe I'm close, but I just missed it. Maybe you're not even close. And when you're not even close, what do you need to do? You got to go back to a known point. And what do I mean by a known point? Well, a known point like a road intersection where power lines cross a creek or a bridge or something like that, to where I can say, look, here on the ground is the bridge, and here on the map is where I am, because there's the bridge on the map. And now I can start and go again. That is what a plan is. A plan, a process, a procedure, an SOP, a system. When things go wrong, go back to what you know. It is a base point, it's established. Those two things are critical to having a resilient team and creating a resilient team. Now, one of the things that I love to talk about, this is all philosophical stuff, right? Philosophical in the sense of it's not the how-to. How do I do this, Otis? Well, I've got some other things I've talked about. You can go to our leadership development system and learn about how to develop a plan, learn about how to build your culture in further detail. But I'm going to tell you how to handle when things go wrong and you need to be resilient and get back up. So, first thing, step one. Let's change pens here. Step one in bouncing back. Number one, we have to realize that we just got knocked down and admit it. And when we realize that, the first action we take is to stop. Stop and pay attention. Next one. Boy, am I getting audio feedback here on a live? Let's see. Double check that. Mute that one. How's that? Still hear me? Okay, I hope so. Hope you can still hear me. Let's see. Do that too. There we go. There. So, stop. Realize you got knocked down. Before you try to do anything, realize it, admit it. Because you cannot learn what you think you already know. Seneca said that. So, if you got knocked down, pause, think before you go and take any action. So, number one, stop. Number two, and I'm going to use this as a metaphor again, face out. So we're going to face out. And what does that mean? We're going to look around to see what happened. That's number two. Step two, look around. What happened? How'd this happen? How'd I get here? What happened? What hit me? What went wrong? Right? Gets better. After we face out, we're going to take a knee. And you know why we take a knee? We're going to catch our breath. We're going to pause. And we're going to assess. Pause and assess. What does that mean? Pause and assess. Well, that means I've stopped. I'm looking around trying to figure out what happened, taking in, collecting data and information. Now I'm going to start to assess that information. Not ready to take action yet. This is my favorite part. Because after I pause and assess, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to drink water. What does that mean? Well, we're going to regroup and reevaluate. Why did I get knocked down if I'm individually doing this? Or what happened as a team? Where did we go wrong? Why did this happen? Where could we do better? We're regrouping. We're assessing what happened. We're going to make it better. We're learning. And then finally, the best part, we're going to take action. That action now becomes our next iteration of what we are going to do and how we are going to overcome the obstacle. This is how you become resilient. This is how you handle when things go wrong and become more resilient. So, to review, individually, we have to have the health, fitness, and mental confidence and capability to handle adversity. That's how you become resilient. You have to have the belief that you can achieve and do and accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. And as a team, when you're leading a team and you want your team to be resilient, you have to have the right culture and a plan. Because the culture and the plan are the foundation that sets you up for success. They're the foundation that sets you up so that you can have more, so that you can do it again, so that you're resilient, which is what we're talking about. What is resilience? It's being able to do it again. It's making the improvement, do an iteration again. Change what you need to change, adapt what you need to adapt. Make it better and do it again. That's resiliency. And that's what you do as a team. And these 5 steps that I just showed you work as an individual when you get knocked down. And by the way, there's no set time on these, okay? It's not like I'm going to spend 10 minutes here, 15, 20, 30, 40. No. This can happen rapidly, very rapidly. If I'm in a fight, I'm not just going to lay there and assess for 10 minutes while I look around and the dude's kicking me. No. I'm taking action. And each one of these helps us move forward, because that's what resiliency leads to. It leads to us taking action and moving forward with our life, with our team. These same 5 steps that I used a personal and individual as a reference also work for you as a team. Your team can follow the same procedures. Now, if you are a small business that has 10 million in revenue a year, and you're in the federal government contracting space, primarily in the services industry of working with the federal government, you are approaching the end of the small business opportunities. And what I mean by that, of course, you know this, those of you who are in that world, small business set-asides, whether it's an SDVOSB, 8A, Hub Zone, woman-owned, whatever those are, may be, Native American-owned, whatever those are, you are about to graduate and compete at the next level. In order to be successful, you, founder, CEO, have to focus on the growth. And you cannot focus on the growth when you are carrying and doing everything. When you are the ops director, you're the BD guy, you're the CFO, you're this, you're that, you're the janitor, you're the HR guy. Guess what, Mr. Founder, CEO? You're setting your team and yourself up for failure. We at Tribe and Purpose have a solution for you, and that is our fractional COO. Tribe and Purpose is the expert, your expert on fractional COOs, because we have the people, starting with me, who are experts in operations, experts in efficiency, culture creation, team building, and leadership, the things that get things running properly so that you could launch to that next level of success for your business. So when you step out, when you graduate from that small business set-aside land, or you get those nice, sweet $5 million contracts, direct award, those go away. And when they go away, you got to be ready. And we at Tribe and Purpose, with our fractional COO team, are here to help you succeed and launch into that next level of success. Hey, appreciate you watching. I hope you learned something. If you did, comment, let me know. If you see a gap, comment, let me know. If you have a different way of creating resiliency for your team, I'd love to hear it. Contact me. Go to 10xyourteam.net, and you got 3 options there. click on the fractional COO one. Set up a time to call me. Let's chat. I'd love to hear your thoughts about team building, resiliency, and where your business is. If your business is ready to launch to that next level, then we are your solution to prepare you, to launch you to that next level of competition and that next level of growth for your team. Thanks, and have a great rest of the day.